All right, it looks like now this thing is functioning here. So anyway, back to what I was saying, astrology in the news. I'm sorry for catching this again. I tried this, and this is my second attempt, and because my camera wasn't working, but I got it working. So why wouldn't you want to see my pretty face? So anyway, Eric Cretan's indicated for showing his funny parts, his naughty bits, his penis. And Mr. Cretan, I looked up his chart. This guy actually has a crazy amount of fixed stars. All right, so Mr. Cretan, look at all this. He's got Bellatrix with K2, Focht with Mars. Let's see, what else did he have? Antares with Neptune. That's a powerful one. Formulat. Okay, so I think it's Formulat or Formalhalt or whatever. It's like a French star, but anyway, it's a fish's mouth, and it's located at about 10 degrees of around 10, 11 degrees of Aquarius, and it's one of the royal stars. And so when you have Venus conjunct this fixed star, it can mean fame or infamy. It really depends on how you use this energy. So really, like other famous people that have planets conjunct this star, Ronald Reagan, let's see, John Lennon had his sun conjunct the star. And so people that have this star prominent in their chart really do tend to rise to high positions in life, but generally it indicates somebody that's a musician or somebody that's very good at writing or somebody that's good with film. So if we take a look at his chart, since I don't know his time of birth, this is occurring in the 4th house, so we're going to use his moon as the ascendant. Now his moon's in Scorpio. Ouch. Okay. Ooh, that's a uni so horny placement. Not just the moon in Scorpio, but planets in Scorpio, especially when it's conjunct the north node of the moon in Neptune. Wow, that's a lot of passion and energy, to say the least, and all this is being directed into this water sign. And so the nature of Scorpio, yeah, it's passionate. It's also too privy to scandals, but also too, it's they're very good at getting to the bottom of things and the mysteries. Now, if you look at the rest of his chart, he's actually got some pretty good placements. So Venus in Aquarius is pretty good. Then Jupiter is conjunct that. So what that can do is it can take that nature of Venus and expand it. Jupiter has a little bit of difficulty in the sign of Aquarius, but usually Jupiter and Venus together means too much of a good thing. So usually the influence of Saturn is something that can help mitigate that. So his Mercury is in a somewhat difficult placement too. It's in the sign of Pisces, conjunct the Sun. Now, Mercury in Pisces is considered debilitated. Now, one of the benefits of that, though, is it takes somebody that hasn't, normally people have that have placements in Virgo or Gemini have extremely active minds. Well, when you put Mercury in Pisces, it makes somebody a little bit more spiritual, and they're a little bit more intuitive too. Now, another side of Pisces is they tend to get depressed and get lonely if they don't make a deep connection with people. So I think when it comes to his relationship with his wife, I think he probably doesn't connect with her on this deeper level by analyzing his chart, and he's not feeling that emotional fulfillment from a deep relationship. So if he stays married, he shouldn't be in a relationship for superficial reasons. Okay. Now, Amy Poehler tells NRA to F off, and that was the polite way of saying fuck off. Can I swear on this channel? I don't know, but whatever. I'm privy to swearing. Look at what I can do. So Amy Poehler, basically, they use Leslie Knope name, and if you're not familiar with Parks and Recreation, Amy Poehler played Leslie Knope. Great series, by the way. I totally recommend it. I've watched it. It's really funny, especially with Ron, whatever his name is, the libertarian dude. All right, Amy Poehler, we do have her birth time. So she is a Capricorn ascendant with Mars and Rahu in the 1st house. Mars is exalted in her 1st house. Definitely a go-getter. Gets what she wants and knows what she wants. Doesn't have any trouble going after it. But Mars in the 1st house with Rahu is very detrimental to relationships. Now she also has the moon in the 7th house of relationships conjunct the south node of the moon. So here's basically how her chart is working. She basically keeps putting more and more effort into trying to get into a better relationship, because that south node of the moon, or K2, wherever that's located in the chart, people put a lot of effort into, because K2 represents a kind of like a void in life. I mean, the significance of K2 really is void, and it also it takes on the placement of the sign that it's in. So here we have an emotional void, and it's also conjunct the moon. So she keeps putting more and more emphasis and more things into her relationships, but she's not taking a look at herself because she has Rahu in the first house and she has Mars in the first house. So as far as she's concerned, she's just fine. So that's how the psychology of this plays out. Saturn in the 5th house in the sign of Taurus usually indicates success. Not a bad placement either. However, it can delay children in the 5th house. I don't know if Amy Poehler has children or not. If she doesn't have children, she's probably not going to have children. Okay, Ascendant conjunct Altair, also extremely successful. So Altair generally indicates success later in life. And then she has K2 conjunct Acubens. Acubens actually is kind of like a study star. It's like a star of intellectuals. Let's see, then her Venus is also exalted in the 9th house here. That's a good placement in the sign of Virgo, along with Uranus. And then, of course, Jupiter and Neptune are, those are almost exactly conjunct in the 11th house. This lady knows how to make friends, but she doesn't really have, I don't think she has very many close relationships. So yeah, so that's Mrs. Poehler's chart. Ms. Poehler, Ms. Nope, if you want to call her Lizzie, nope. Anyway, Mr. Manafort is in deeper trouble, man. I tell you, I've seen a lot of astrologers, like the Western astrologers are blaming his problems on 4 planets in the sign of Aries, and it's just like, oh my God, this guy just couldn't get enough, and he overjumped, and he didn't really think about stuff. Well, if we take a closer look with the Vedic system, which is like a lot awesomer, first of all, we do have Paul Manafort's birth time, so his ascendant is in the sign of Cancer, right? So he's actually got Mercury, Mars, Venus, and Sun all in the sign of Pisces. However, he does have Rahu and the Moon in the sign of Aries. So there is a little bit of overindulgence and like overthinking things, or I'm sorry, underthinking things and kind of getting right into stuff. But really for him, if you look at the particular placement of Saturn, Saturn is conjunct Regulus. And where did we have a solar eclipse last year in August? Regulus, right? This is really at the exact point, almost the exact point of the eclipse. So this really, he was affected by this eclipse. Now, the last eclipse is opposed this, and this is going to be happening in his 8th house. So that's the house of scandal. So this guy is going to probably be going to jail. I really, I don't see how he's going to skirt around this stuff. However, it's not always for the narrative that we're told. So Manafort actually has some pretty good and difficult placements. Like his Venus is exalted. So his Venus being in the sign of exaltation, even though his Mercury is debilitated, Mars actually doesn't do too bad in Pisces. The Sun's a little bit difficult, but Venus lifts all these up, okay? Now the Moon and Rahu in Aries, though, that's kind of a little bit of a difficult combination, and his Jupiter is debilitated. So one of the things that we need to know about Jupiter, a debilitated Jupiter, is Jupiter is really the planet of ethics and wise thinking, and so we're just kind of see a man here where the ends are always going to justify the means. So that is my analysis of Paul Manafort, and of course all the social media stuff is down below here if you want to book a consultation. Like me, share me, and all that stuff, because I love the attention. No, I love astrology, and of course there's so much news going on. I would also like to start getting into some more mundane predictions here. So let's see, we're getting close to the end of February. Yeah, it's the 22nd. So we're not too far off from doing February predictions. So I'm going to take a stab at that at the end of the month. And what we'll do is I'll go through the chart, see if there's any major transits and things like that, and we will make predictions. Ooh, All right, everybody, have a great night.